Thank God it's Friday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the amazing ladies. Alhaja Nima Akashan
Zip, 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 zip. Zip's wife. Zip, zip. Zip's wife.
Martin, zip, zip. They used to do it when I got married when I was going to law school. So my roommates, they'll say, Ele zip.
Martin, zip.
Zip. There's this song they sing, they say, Nima Aya Zibiri. My head will now sound Africa. They had prayed at the wedding. I'll be doing like this.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yes.
My small husband is already, but let's cover it. We'll break it
afterwards.
I'm following the Janiki school issue. One student is still on suspension, and I'm trying to find out why we had done that story in January where we had the mother and I thought by now it would be completely resolved. 1 week into resumption till now, one child is still on suspension. I think they should have closed that issue clearly. But I think they still want to make an issue with a child. So one of them had been suspended where they roped him into an issue. I'm trying to get the details of it. And when I do, it will become...
It's something serious.
I'll take it up because I don't want... we had talked about that punishing of children over their parents standing up for issues. And it's very, very unfair. So since we're in the spirit of talking about our children. I think the PTA should sit up and do the needful. Because denying that child school is, of course, discriminating against the child and abusive of the child's right. I think they should stop it.
Ramatu?
Yes, so I'm supposed to be at, I'm supposed to have gone to Katsina for a wedding.
Oh, wow.
My cousin is getting married over the weekend. But of course, I couldn't make it and also, but all the entire family, the whole Shehus family, they are all in Katsina now, Enja local government. And here's to my cousin, happy married life. Congratulations. I wish you the very best in marriage. And then my business, somebody said that they want to know what I sell.
Yes.
So I sell groundnut kuli oil, pure, natural, no additives. The aroma is fantastic, and then the taste is awesome. Yeah. And then we have spices too, natural spices, nothing mixed in it. Ginger, curry, garlic, okay. Then we also have in sachets, we have Cameroon pepper and hot pepper.
And
we supply markets. Yes.
So she makes...
Yes.
She finds the oil and then sells. So that's the best. She's in production and marketing of it, but she takes it now. Only says they produce.
They want to know where they can get it. We're all
she's in all the stores on the island.
Yes, we are. We're also on Konga.
But I've actually been using
Nadim Foods and Spices.
One you gave to me, and it's
very good.
I just kept that particular one for only your gas meals when I
use it to make your stew,
sauces and everything, especially for him.
You forget.
My daughter used it to fry plantain. Come and see as I was shouting in the house.
Don't waste that oil.
I said, that oil, how can you use it to fry plantain?
That's it.
Is there's oil for plantain? This is my oil for stew.
I'm telling you.
Abigail is in the midst.
Where's the red carpet?
Red
we are having a blue carpet because we have predominantly blue colors. I would like to have your spices. Good to be here with you guys on Your View English. You know they say a day above the ground is a day to be thankful for. So I'm really thankful, and I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Yes.
We all know it's our little secret. It's our little secret, and people should just keep a tab on their social media, and they'll know what's going on. Yeah, but I trust today's show will be very, very inciting and educating, as always.
As always, right?
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, sales are still going on. Sales are actually ending today. That's our WOOF sales are ending today. If you're not able to pick the hairs that you want, you have to wait again till next time that we do the sales. But if you can still, hurry now, you can get at the affordable, reduced prices, right? Then yesterday, my sister made nsala soup for me. I've been craving nsala soup.
I want to taste that soup. I want to taste that soup.
There's something they said
about
I
that
used to bring soups for my girls, but now everybody's minding.
There's something they said about ogirishi. You're from Igbo, right?
Yes, sir.
So somebody says this is not really important in soups. I don't know why people add it. Can you tell us why people add it?
It is the real flavor of every local soup. That's the Maggi of the the olden days.
Oh, okay, that ogiri is the dawa, right?
Yes. So they have the one that is very fermented. That's the ogirisi. That one, if you open it, you have to wash your hand over and over, or else the whole place will smell it. But the taste of the
taste.
Wow. Lima, you would have felt this in salad. But I cannot share now. Because these are difficult. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So I'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline: I take tough policy decisions in people's interest. The worst of the storms is over. Dutch businessman to invest $250 million in Nigeria. This is according to the President Tinubu. Why I came hard on Dana Air by Kiyamo. Manhunts for 109 fleeing prisons inmates. Fence collapses to blame. Olubado receives mortgages. U.S. reports. 2023 election, a reflection of Nigerians' will. Ondo PDP picks Ajayi. APC woos aggrieved Ondo aspirants with all-inclusive government slots. How recapitalization of banks will boost economy by PwC. What stories do we have in
the president is in the Netherlands, and is meeting with businessmen, inviting investors to Nigeria. And at The Hague, he said, I'm ever ready to take tough decisions in the best interest of the people, even if the initial pains are there. And we've seen the examples. We are now easing into softer times. I remember when the fuel subsidy announcement came and everybody almost went mad. Then we had, things from dollar spiked up, and now they're investing and, settling out all our dollar debts that are holding us back. But a lot of things that the president said you can easily attest to. I mean, that meeting at The Hague, so Dutch businessmen together, represented by their prime minister, who stood as the representative at this meeting, they promised an investment of $250 million in the next few months in Nigeria. I'm looking at which sector I'm hoping, not just mines. I'm hoping production. We have some companies shutting down now and people losing employment, but whenever investors come in, especially those ones from that side, they usually think of minerals and mines. The president also alluded to when he removed subsidy, how things were hard, how things are looking better, brighter these days. And, he said he's determined as a leader to stand for his people, and no matter what he has, and will continue to take the difficult decisions that will benefit people eventually. We know that some things have to go,
So I have this one, why I came hard on Dana Airline. Festus Keyamo, the Aviation and Aerospace Development Minister, he came out to say that all Dana flight itineraries should be suspended because the plane skidded off on Tuesday. And for the safety of the people and people on board and other people, he said they should suspend all airlines. But so many other persons have come out to say it's not in your jurisdiction to do this. So even the Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative, what Pigeon will say, they do too much. This is not your call to make. Why are you suspending Dana Airline? And even the National Civil Aviation Authority, they are saying this is not your call to make. So you should allow us to do it because we are autonomous. We are an autonomous body, so you're not supposed to give such instruction. But the minister is saying that this is my jurisdiction because they will call for me if anything happens. And this airline we are talking about, they have some infractions that in the past that is yet to be cleared, and so that's why he's coming up hard on them. So that's his explanation so far. He was on a TV show yesterday to actually clarify this.
So I have a story here. The Apex Bank, we know that they had announced the 2-year bank recapitalization process, which began April 1st and is expected to end March 31st, 2026. And now the plan requires minimum capital of 500 billion, 200 billion, and 50 billion for commercial banks with international, national, and regional licenses, respectively. Likewise, the CBN also raised capitalization baseline for merchant banks, which went to 50 billion, and non-interest banks, national, 20 billion. Also, regional banks will be, getting 10 billion. Now, the central bank is saying that the recapitalization of banks will boost the nation's economy and improve our financial credibility. This was a PricewaterhouseCoopers report, saying this, and they are having a deadline for the submission of the recapitalization plan by the banks, which is going to be on Tuesday, and they are expecting that they would have come with all the plans that they have to get this money together. It's also a way of boosting our economy, and so they are saying that this is just like the way to go. A few years back when they did it from about 75 banks, they brought it down, and now we may have more banks coming together to pull forces together. It's better we have fewer banks that are very strong in terms of liquidity, their capital base is strong, they're able to inject money in, than just to have over 100 banks and then they are very watering.
Okay, so I'm taking the story of the 109 fleeing inmates. Okay, so another prison break. The federal government has ordered a comprehensive manhunt for 109 fleeing inmates of Suleja Medium Security Custodian Center in Niger State. They said the inmates escaped on Wednesday. There was a heavy downpour and the wall fell off. Wow. And then the inmates now, use that opportunity.
Waka free.
They run.
They didn't break the...
So it was gathered that 119 escaped, fled the facility, but 10 of them were being apprehended and brought back to the custodial facility. The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubumi Tunji Ojo, who visited the facility for an immediate assessment of the damage, and also he tried to get information of the fleeing inmates. He said that they are going to bring out their biometrics and their numbers and their names so that they will be made known to the public. So if, in the public, once it's in the public, if you come across them, you can bring them back and all. He also faulted, reports them. He also faulted the custodial centers that they had made, they had informed the government that this wall has issues and all. They will have fixed it. They will have fixed it, and this will have been avoided too.
I think there's also something they said that, the overcrowded nature of our Nigerian correctional service. They said that facility is meant to house 250, about 250-something, but the number of inmates presently is over 400, 490.
Yes.
So, yes, it will.
There's no space.
And you know how they say these people are human beings, they are not cows. We send them there to get rehabilitation, not to dehumanize them and something like that. So I really wish the government can do something about it.
Governments over years have refused to reinvest in the prisons.
In prisons.
The prisons are in the colonial structures, most of them. I'm looking for a modern, recently built prison I've not seen. So you can't continue to what you don't.
Yes, the Punch. I'll be taking the headlines and then we go on a short break. Major headline: Forex, MTN, Glo, others seek NCC nod for tariff hike. Telcos risk shutdown without tariff increase to offset rising costs. Alton and Atcon. Operators await NCC approval as regulator reviews tariff bands and operating costs. Dollar demand pushes Naira to 1,422 a dollar. NNPC blames logistics for worsening fuel queues. Senate panel seeks extension of 30 trillion loans probe. 4 million UTME candidates not admitted in 4 years, according to investigation. Federal government may relocate jails as 105 inmates flee Niger prison. Akeredolu's ex-deputy Ajayi wins Ondo PDP ticket. Ogun, mother electrocuted, 2 children hospitalized. Dangote, Forex shortage delays crude supplies. We'll be taking a short break now. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing The Punch. Nima had a story?
Okay, so a recent analysis of data obtained from JAM showed that 6.9 million candidates sat for UTME exams between 2019 to 2022, and only 2.3 million of them got admitted, leaving 4.87 million candidates who failed to secure admission. Among them, 4,385 students who scored above 300 in the exam, in the required 400 score mark, were waiting for admission. About 4,385. They listed, the story continued to list, you know, the years, each year's breakdown, but they had said JAM was blaming some factors which was not mentioned in the article. I read thoroughly to see if I could find some of them, but you know, the large corporates, the universities,
not able
to doing their post-UTME exams and further downsizing the numbers and, you know, denying students admission.
Yeah, but also they don't have enough space to admit. Most of the universities, especially the federal and the state,
you know, priority is given on merit basis.
I know.
Even when we went to school, we didn't meet cutoff. I don't even meet cutoff because we're struggling to meet. For those who had 300 above, they were given admission no matter what.
But now, you know, it's not JAM that determines the admission anymore.
That's the point.
And there is now...
There's post-UTME.
I would like to see how that is cleared out.
So I have another human interest story here. Mother of two, Junwa Okechukuma, was electrocuted on Wednesday evening while her two children, identified as Louis and Onyinyechi, are currently battling for their lives in the hospital following a spark at an electric transformer located inside the market in the Muwe area of Ogun State. They said some members of the communities had told Punch that they visited the market in the morning and 3 people had died, including a pregnant woman. The State Police Command said only Okechukuma was electrocuted and 5 others were injured. So according to the story, they said the incident was as a result of the fact that the DISCO had come, the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, had come to warn the shop owners of the electricity cables that had fallen on the different roofs of the shops, and, you know, also warned them not to display their wares very close to the electric poles. And then by the time they went back, you know, after the rain fell, that was when the wires and the pole fell. They went back and they brought back electricity. And so the people who were around the place were now, you know, electrocuted, and it affected them. And, you know, it's just a painful story. I don't know.
So sad.
So I have a story on the NNPC, the fuel scarcity in the country. The queues for the premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, grew worse in Abuja and neighboring Nasarawa, Niger states on Thursday, as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited blamed the development on logistics issue, but was quick to state that it had been resolved. But there's still scarcity. And as usual, once there's scarcity, once there's fuel scarcity, some filling stations will sell, while some will not sell. Then the ones that are selling, they will increase their prices. So now some have increased their prices to 700. The ones that are selling at 617 per litre is the NNPC filling stations. They are the only ones that are selling at 617. But then they have long queues in them. And also they are now asking that they are now saying that the commuters are complaining that there is now hike in the cost of transportation, and then the scarcity is still increasing. But there's scarcity here in Lagos as well.
Is scarcity, so let's just say there's alleged scarcity. But the one that is not alleged is that there's queue.
But you know how people do this.
The queue is this way.
The queue is long.
Queues.
And there's traffic everywhere, heavy traffic.
So NNPC cannot deny.
They can't deny it.
So they should help us find why.
Okay, so what I have here, recently we started saying that Naira has started depreciating again. You know, for some time we were saying, hey, Naira is coming.
It will stabilize.
But finally, let me not say finally because it's not good news. It's depreciating now, and in the parallel market, it's at 1,420. People buy at 1,309. But they've come to give us this explanation. CBN is saying is there too much demand for dollar. That's the cause of this depreciation. And we got to know.
Just resumed.
Yes. So that brings us to the same question we are saying. Some schools charge in dollars. And most of the things we even do with dollars in Nigeria, we shouldn't be doing it. We shouldn't be here. And then recently we heard that CBN gave out $15.83 million to about 1,583 3 bureau de change people for this kind of transaction.
Availability of it.
And now the question is, why do we have so many bureau de change people? Why do we have them?
They reduced them. They
reduced it, but then they're still calling for more reduction in the size of these people.
Let's move on to the Daily Sun. A major headline: more hardship as telecom companies plan rate hike. Data voice services to be affected. Reshuffle cabinet to balance equation for Southeast ministerial appointments. Ex-police boss tells Tinubu. IPOB denies attacking Northerners in Southeast. Abia North. Kalu deserves our support. Commendation, ex-Abia Deputy Speaker. 119 inmates escape as rainstorm destroys prison in Niger. 10 recaptured. UK supports Nigeria's fight against malaria with €1 billion. We're making progress against scourge, according to the federal government. Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road demolition of structures begins tomorrow. Federal government terminates 121 billion naira Abuja-Lokoja Benin Expressway contract. Ondo Guba, Ajayi emerges PDP candidate. Aida Tiwa false claims of rigging of APC primary. Ganduje appeals to aspirants to work for APC electoral victory. Airlines spend 46.8 million on expatriate quota in 2 years. What stories do we have in this one?
Okay, so for this story on UK supporting Nigeria with £1 billion to fight malaria in Nigeria. You know, yesterday was World Malaria Day, and they had the team accelerating the fight against malaria for a more equitable world. So we know that our major issue as regards health challenges, one of it is malaria. And so they've given us £1. They've pledged to actually support us with £1 billion to actually fight malaria. And they are projecting the purchase of mosquito-treated nets, you know, sensitization and all that. Some states, they said they are more malaria-prone than the others. So our government should be able to know what state deserves better malaria attention and treatment and all that. But it's a good thing that the UK is actually supporting Nigeria, especially this time where we know that we need a lot of support as we can get so far.
So I have a story here. The plan by telecommunication operators in Nigeria to hike tariffs for data and voice calls said it appears not to have gone down well with Nigerians, warning that any move to further impoverish them will be resisted. The planned resistance is coming on the heels of the joint statement released yesterday by the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, and the Association of Telecom Communication Companies Nigeria, ATCON. They said they are urging the federal government to consider them having a price hike after 11 years free. So they've not been allowed to increase their prices for over 11 years now. And they're saying that they need, you know, in the face of the inflation, the economic hardship, they need to also maintain the business. They need to also get proper infrastructure to upgrade the business. And if they don't increase the hike, a lot of them may be shutting down. So it's been on and, you know, for and against. Some persons are saying that this is not the time to even increase any tariff at all, because people are going to be having it hard. So we are paying more for fuel, we're paying more for diesel, we're paying more for electricity, and now even the data that gives us life, we want to pay more. So I really don't understand. What are the stories?
Another worry for me is the cancellation of the 121 billion Abuja-Lokoja Benin Expressway. So this expressway, as since Obasanjo time, that they have awarded it, the Abuja-Lokoja Benin Expressway, as is a way that serves how many states? Over 3 or 4 states, and will relieve a lot of things, but it's still in a bad state. Last year it was re-awarded, and the contractors are Mother Cat, Dance Attire, Soe, CGC, CECC, Julius Berger, and RCC for different sections of the road. But the Minister for Works has, you know, cancel, all of you cancel, you know, because he says that there's arrogance on the part of the contractors, because you get on site and you see that the contractors just put their signboard, but there are no machines and personnel for the work because they are waiting for approval from a country. You can't hold another country to run like that. This contract that was awarded then was 121 billion. It's been reviewed to 877 billion, yet work no start. So he says he also discovered that certain sections of the road cannot survive with asphalt, and he's working asphalt and is working with them. He has gone to the FEC as well as the BPP to ensure that, you know, they approve that they are concrete roads. And all of this, when you call 17 contracts without having any requisite skill, any equipment, no personnel to execute the job. And when you try to invite them to talk about it in public, they wait for approval from their nations or nationals, from outside home countries where they are from, and says, you can't continue to treat us that way. He says this a lot of arrogance on their part. My own worry is that when this is re-awarded, he has given them the right of first refusal, based on this cancellation, to come back and bid for the contracts. Yeah. But if they should be with immediate. Anybody that have material ready to work, they are contractors within the country. Yeah. Let them be allowed.
To. Yes. I like what the minister is doing. He's really fixing most of the roads and all.
Any other story in Vanguard? So I don't know if we have time to take this, but let me read the major, the front lines. This is Vanguard. LP PDP kick as US report says 2023 poll mirrored Nigerians will. Boko Haram sacks military camp in Niger, bandits attack emir in Zamfara. Who has that story? Then we have another one, Okoma community shun house committee's investigative hearing.
Okay, I have Okoma community because it's where the 17 military personnel were killed. So the Baba Jimmy Benson-led committee that is investigating and holding a public hearing in Delta State went to see the governor yesterday, and yesterday sitting, no community member appeared. They also extended it to today. But then in another report, the leader from the community speaking anonymously was saying, not only were they not invited, they will not come because they believe that government is treating them as wicked. They have left their people in the bushes. We need to find a middle ground for this and resolve this at some point. Yeah. These people want to come back home, so also government wants the matter resolved. Yes. Yeah. So when the government starts a committee, it's important that those committees are attended. Yeah. And the committee has also assured that, yes, they have also assured that, you know, they just want to get as much fact-finding as they can, and there are no arrests that will be done, just to clarify.
So in Niger State, it's just the reoccurrence of bandits attack in some of the states. And this one, they said the Boko Haram insurgents yesterday, they sacked the military base at Alawa town in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. And the most notable stuff on that story is that there were about 200 bandits, at least different bikes. You can have like 3 of them. They said about 3 people on a bike, 200 bandits attacked at 1:30 a.m. Wow. So shooting at houses, and they even wanted to capture the emir, but he was whisked away to safety. Wow. So these stories don't go well because it's really saddening to see that insecurity is really still deep, and we can't.
Our major problem is insecurity.
All right, thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we saw a video on social media that caught our attention. They said an Anambra man who was flogged to death by his kinsmen following dispute over family property. Mr. Kenneth, aged 60, died in Nza, Ozobolo, Anambra State, hours after being flogged. According to eyewitnesses, they said Mr. Kenneth was flogged because he allegedly sold a water tank in his family house and used the money to solve family issues. Subsequently, his younger brother allegedly arrested him with a vigilante group who carried out the punitive measure. Now, concerned Nigerians are calling on the state governor and the police to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice, and also to protect the bereaved wife and children who are being intimidated in their effort to seek justice. This was a very painful story. Like, I was really mad when I saw the story. The fact that you know, these are his brothers who did this to him just because he sold a water tank. Initially, I felt it was maybe a land dispute. Because when it comes to land disputes, things like this can happen. They can get really violent. But he sold a water tank in his family compound, and then the younger brother, probably that one has a little money, invited vigilante, and those vigilante boys flogged this man, a 60-year-old man, to death.
Oh, God.
This is just too much. What do you think about the story, first of all?
Okay, so because it has resulted in death, it seems like we cannot address what built up, you know, to it. The fact that he saw the water tank belonging to the family does not seem right itself.
Exactly.
You know, if you're from family where you've experienced where one sibling can just, you know, carry the whole family and sell, you know this can be very painful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the intentions of the brothers was not death, but correction. But youth, what did they call them? The people that were invited, the vigilante, were overdoing. And, you know, now the death has resulted, you know, either from the actions or inactions of the family members, something has led to death. And so we're investigating a murder case. Whether it's told before that is another matter entirely. But I know that, you know, these things are cultural. There are ways that you address certain issues. Like this, where one brother is investing in the US, sending money, one brother is selling it here. They will say, Shebi is your brother, you know. And so sometimes you invite whatever is a cultural criminal measure, you invite it. You either carry the matter to family compound, the head of family sees to it. If you don't have, you carry to Bale. Or if you don't have, you carry to Eze. Whoever you have as your cultural, traditional measure of criminality and justice, you carry to that place. They should solve for you. The way it is solved is now a different matter. The sad thing here was the most dehumanizing kind of punishment, because it wasn't. They didn't resolve the matter for him to go and bring back the tank.
No, they didn't care about that.
They just continuously abused, beat, dehumanized him till he died. We saw the videos. Wow. Very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. And I'm hoping that his brothers were not in audience. Wow. They were not the ones making the video.
Exactly.
Watching, you know, that this happened till this happened.
I think this is avoidable. It's an incident that will have been avoided. You know, in the North, or will I say Muslims, properties that have been left, immediately the father passes on, we quickly share it after 40 days. Okay. And there is a method, there is a formula on how these properties can be shared. And it will be shared, and everybody will be giving their own, and everybody will take their own and go. But this, what grieves me about this story is the fact that they are brothers. There's no love, there's no understanding, or I want to even know how they are feeling now that he's dead. How are they feeling? He has left the water tank for them. He has left the building. So how are they feeling? Are they happy about it? You know? So we'll just, once these things are shared, it avoids a lot of issues that can happen in the future. That's my own.
So actually, there's no excuse before the law. There's no ignorance. So there are channels where issues like this could be taken to. You have the court system. The Nigerian security system, I don't think the vigilante is so much of a strong aspect of the Nigerian security system. It's not even a part. So that's not an excuse whatsoever. It just baffles me that most families have lost empathy. You know, your brother sold a water tank. There should be a reason why he did that. Sold that, yeah. And you, as a family member, you know they do contributions in family. Now, okay, this one is getting married, let's contribute. This one is, the daughter is going to the US, let's us contribute. Maybe this one will help us. So I just see that there is no empathy in that, no love, no empathy in that family. And we know that there's always a black sheep in every family, whether you like it or not. But people have learned to actually live with their black sheep. And usually there are times when this black sheep comes in handy for the family. So going to call a vigilante, I watched that video, but I couldn't watch it to the end because it's heartbreaking. Two people were flogging this man mercilessly. He didn't die. He didn't die immediately, but I guess he would have been internal bleeding because the way they beat this man, he couldn't raise it. You could see bruises on him. So what I want to say is, of course, there's no ignorance, so the law has to take its course. We saw videos of the people that were battering him, so the law has to take its course because they have to set examples. There should be a balance between culture and civility. There should be a balance between what the law allows or what is obtainable in the law and what your culture, if your culture is going against the law, then we have to, this one is culpable homicide. And this has resulted in death, and we know the penalty for death is another death. So I pray the government is able to sort this. To wade into it, actually.
So let's even expand it a bit more. So I happen to come from a family that was sort of toxic in the way the siblings related. So that's not me and my own. We are the new generation. The older generation that we met, could see things like this and behave in this way, right? And it always got me thinking that where is the love? Because I know that aside from the fact that it's a polygamous home and every child will go with the mother and what your mother is telling you about this other woman's children.
Talk to this woman's child. Don't collect here.
Don't go to, don't play with them and all of that. And that causes division.
Of course.
Now, I've also seen families where it's just one woman and you still see this sort of siblings rivalry, because in my head, for you to be my sibling, you should be able to support me when I need help.
Of course.
Before I run to an outsider, I should run to you first. If you're not able to support me, then I'll carry my shame and go outside. But so this seems to me like somebody who needed something, needed a sort of covering. And these younger ones, for whatever reason, could not cover him, and then they decided to kill him. How do we begin to...
No. Let's put the facts out there.
He sold water tank.
They decided to correct him. So for the purpose of
correction,
for the purpose of law, they might get a manslaughter. They didn't intend to murder him, but they intended to... He did something wrong. He sold what does not belong to him.
Too far.
So let's talk about entitled siblings.
Imagine
me working so hard in Lagos here. I'm building something, and then one of my siblings just thinks, it's my brother's one, I can use it when I need it. I have a personal story from my father's past, where the entire first funds he gathered when he came to Lagos was totally depleted by his late sibling. Both of them are late now. And my grandma would cry, he's your brother, there's nothing we can do, he's your brother. And so tomorrow I see the building plan. I saw, my father had foresight, but he had a sibling, happened to him. So we must address these issues in every facet. If today, as a mother, one of my children is doing one thing to the sibling, that I will stand up for that justice. I will not bring that sentiment of, because that's how we arrive here. This person has younger ones, and he is not able to meet up. But if you see him trying, it's a different matter. But entitled men would say, okay, well, I cannot kill myself. You people will buy another tank when I sell this one. Then tomorrow, you will buy another tire when I sell your car tire. Tomorrow, you will buy another roof when I sell the house. Things like that, you keep dealing with it into old age. That's where an error like this can happen. No, so parents, where did their parents also fail?
Now, can I also say something? So there are two sides to every story. Sometimes it could be that this person is just a wayward sibling, like you just mentioned, who just picks everything and just sells. And then he's been doing this over and over, and this time around, we're not going to take it. We just have to give him a form of punishment to deter him subsequently, right? It could also be that he has never sold anything before. And it's not your own property, it's your father's property. There are ways you can handle this issue, like you rightly mentioned. Take it to the elders. Let them solve the matter. You also mentioned, as the man is dying, share this thing so that everybody can carry their own and be going, right? So there are different sides to it. Now, how do we ensure that no matter the side, whether he's the black sheep of the family that has sold almost everything, how do we handle it in such a way that it doesn't result to this?
Like this. I'm even wondering, because if you're hitting someone that much and you're seeing the pain the person is going through, if you don't really have the intention of murdering that person, you should know when to stop. You should know, because at the point the guy couldn't even shout again, he just went mute, and they kept hitting him. He came back up again. And I want to say something regarding, people from the East, they take respect very seriously, even here in the Yoruba culture. There are families in the East, as you said, he's 60 years, right? He might just be, maybe, I don't know, he might just be one of the elders who feels, okay, what I say stays. What I say stays because most of those families, there's always one person that they listen to, irrespective of what the person does. So the person too lords it over every other person. It could still be the case that, okay, since I know if he handle you, make a carry person way, go fi handle you, so you know. But I actually feel that 60 years, that was dehumanizing. He's already weak. He's already weak. It's not there at all.
Okay, so seeing comments saying I'm justifying jungle justice, I stated clearly from the beginning this was wrong. I stated clearly again, because Nigeria, your viewers are special. You know, this was wrong. You know, and we're trying to break down these issues and help other families who might be going through it on how to stem it, and so we don't get here again. We don't see this happen again. If a parent has children who you're raising together, every child is entitled to what they can. If they jointly own, there are rules to that as well. So that one person is not cheating the other. It is unfair for one person to work hard and get his wealth, and another sibling, just because of sibling entitlement, squander it. Now, resolving it by beating in such a dehumanizing way is not the solution. But, you know, in Ijebu culture, for instance, I hear them say, Kinti call today, you cannot use police to arrest your brother, even your neighbor. So your neighbor, imagine, the one I handled that was so heartbreaking was that a brother-in-law had raped his niece. And the wife was shouting. The brother was saying, it's my brother. Oh yeah, that one, how do we solve it? You must go to court. You must find some form of justice. Sadly, justice can be death. Imagine if, you know, they arrest the young man. He's under age sexual conduct and rape for that instance. He's a life sentence. So you cannot come and be bringing sibling and, you know, sentiment into it. Now, sadly, the measures they took has led to death. We're investigating a murder. There's a case here.
We're not focused now on.
I'm not pushing it under the carpet. We are dissecting the issue, and we're just even starting. There are many sides to this issue. And so we cannot say because Nigerians want to hear that they have killed their brother, everybody go to prison, and we should just close the matter. We're trying to see how we got here in the first place, because we didn't address a sibling entitlement. We didn't address everybody's rivalry to what they have earned. And so all of those issues, and maybe possibly sibling rivalry amongst children, possibly. Because I don't understand how two brothers watch their brother being beaten to that point. If you want correct and not to kill them, beat now.
Okay, so Nima, let me ask you. Short break now, honey. When we come back, we take phone calls and messages and continue on the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about the man in Anambra State who was flogged by vigilante, called by his brothers, and ended up dying afterwards. And you can join the conversation and call us on 081-076-41679 or 0902-416-3440. Now, Abigail raised something that was important to me, which was respect. And I know that, you know, the way we use the respect all the time, sometimes we really do not practice it when the chips are down, when we are angry, and then we allow our emotions take over us. Because I'm wondering how you want to correct an elder with punitive measures. The fact that the person has crossed a certain bar means that there's some sort of punishment is not even your right to give to that person. Whether you are a wife, whether you are a brother, you are a sister, they have gotten to that level where you accord them, even in chastising them, even in telling them that they are wrong. There's a way you say it. You don't talk to them like you're talking to your child, no matter what. Now, how do we keep instilling this respect? Because I've seen that across every sphere, we're beginning to lose it. Oh, I'm more educated than this person. Oh, I have more money than this person. Oh, I have this than that person. I can talk to you anyhow I like, irrespective of the fact that you're older than me. How do we go back to the days of our culture when it comes to respect? And I know that all of us want to evolve, but we can hold on to some cultural things that are still good and still serving us.
I thought Abigail would like to go.
To jump into this one.
Okay, talking about respect, you know what they say, that respect is reciprocal. So even among siblings, I've had a sibling that warned me. I am older by 5 years, by the way. So she got me angry one of those days and I slapped her. And then she looks at me like this, don't try that next time. So, you know, there are legacies in the family and there are family systems where how you actually groom your kids matter a lot. So it matters how you make this one respect the other one, know that this person is your elder, under no circumstances must you disrespect this person. So I think it has to do with how you groom these children growing up. As I said earlier, systems in some of these cultures have given too much power to just one person, maybe because of birthright. And maybe because, okay, you're occupying a certain vintage position in the family, your mommy's favorite, your daddy's favorite, and everybody sees it. You went to school. And so people have lost it as to what to do at a certain time. Because things like this, as a family, if you see someone mistreating your family member, you won't be happy in the first place. You won't. You won't even want to fight. So how come you're the one actually doing the same thing to your family members? So I actually feel that respect is how you groom it, how you grow it in the family system.
Let's take this call. Samuel from Jos. Good morning, Samuel.
God bless you, my good sisters.
God bless you too.
This is my take on this topic. There is no action without, there's no reaction without action. But that is not to say that whatever must have led to the death of this young man is justifiable. Because you're taking a life, you cannot justify whatever the man has done. Be it what, be it whatever. I know Igbo nation to be a highly cultured tribe. There are issues you take to the elders of the family, or even to the elders of the village. They will settle it. Like in my own village where I come from, you don't invite your police to your brother to the police station. You can't do it in my own village. Because we have elders that will settle whatever rivalry or whatever case you have with your brother. Let alone calling vigilante to take your brother's life. I mean, let the law take its course, my brother, my sisters. Irrespective of what the man has committed, he cannot equate that offense with his life. Take it to the elders of the village, take it to the elders of the family, take it to the even wider society. So you don't take life unjustly. And you know life is worth taking, no matter what it has taken the cost. Because God, I'm speaking as a Christian, you don't take life even because God says, the Bible says vengeance belongs to him. Allow vengeance, God to take vengeance on your behalf. So they should be prosecuted, no matter who's of God.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to say that concerning the issue, property is a very controversial issue in Nigeria, especially. I remember when my granddad passed on, he just had a house and then had like about 6 to 7 rooms. Of course, he was a polygamous man, and there were about 18 children, including my dad. While he was still alive, my dad was the one that was renovating the house, keeping the house, you know, and all. But after he died, after 40 days, they shared that property.
Immediately. To
17 children. So you find out that one room, there are like 4 people inside a room. And they may come from different mothers, but it must be shared to avoid things like this. So they shared it. Now, everybody, the house is there. The idea is they didn't want to sell it before, but they didn't want to share it. But you enter your room and go and stay.
What happens if one sibling, they shared, let's say they've given you your cup, you have given my cup, and I look at my cup, and think, oh, I now need something to feed. I take your cup
and sell
it.
They have shared, though.
Yes, now. But now, because it's the way they shared it, you can't even sell it. Because it's room. You want to come and sell your own. The only thing you can do is to rent it out. And that's what some did.
Yeah, but if you was a house and one sibling decides. So that's what we
want to get hold of the papers.
That's
of the house.
That's why it's already shared. It's already
some
shared.
family do this the legal way, so you can't get just one signature. Every other person should be there.
Sign.
So the people that are saying, I can't take my family to the police, I can't take my family meet elders. What if the elders are biased themselves? He's a 60-year-old, and what if he's closer to the elders?
Which happens?
And they judge in favor of him. And maybe they've been doing this case. As we said, we don't know the details that led to this, but what if it's that kind of situation? There are certain things that you can't just do yourself, whether you like it or not. The law is there to guide you. It's there to guide you. So this sentiment of, I can't take my family issue, family will go do you like this, eh? One day you'll be asking yourself.
To add to that issue of respect, that when you're raising your kids, you also raise them with empathy and balance of judgment. Where one knows that if I cheat this one, you just know. I saw a video recently of a brother whose brother was domiciled abroad and had married an American woman. They are Ghanaians and they are Muslims. And the brother was sending money home for his brother to help him build. He built the house, Sote, it be like palace.
Yes, I saw that video.
And when the wife came, when she was showing the kids the room, she was saying,
so happy.
She was so happy.
In
a long time, I've not seen such a story. So it felt so good to see that, you can still rely on your sibling. Not this story of, I send money, my sibling don't sell everything. My sibling was balling while I was working in America. Not all those stories, all the time. If you raise your kids, apart from respect, you raise them with that empathy of my sibling. So that, for instance, if these ones had even done the mistake which they did of reporting to the vigilante, they will not see their brother being dehumanized and find it normal now. Okay, let's even add everything that he took. Is it worth him being dehumanized? Talk less of him being killed. So that's the empathy, that the point of, is another human. Is even my own blood. Is even my own sibling. After my parent, after me in this world, this is the next closest thing to me.
I like the angle you are taking it to, but let's take this call. Chibuzo. Good morning, Chibuzo.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
This what you are saying is true. Even it happened to my family now, as I'm talking to you. My father married 2 wives, and I'm the first son. Even the property, when my father died, he shared property to each family, to each parent. Say, you to your brother, you to your sisters, because of wahala where it cost later. Then it was unfortunate my younger brother wanted to sell the property, which I know. I say, we cannot sell any property because my mother was alive. We have to leave the property, both the farm for my mother, so that we'll be farming it. If we cannot farm, let's put it for rent. Then yesterday, I had a call from my sister, direct, that my younger brother sold a land, 2 million. With that consulting me, I say, how long? He said, this is almost a year. He sold the land. He did not inform me. Even my mother did not inform me. Nobody informed me. I say, are you sure, my sister? I say, yes. I called my mother yesterday. I was discussing with my mother some issue without letting her know that someone tell me. I just asked my mother, I hope no problem concerning the land and everything. You are not making equal with anybody. Say no. Then I had to find something for her mother. I said, mother, I saw one of our town brothers told me that you are having a misunderstanding with for land. He said no. I told my mother, I don't want something to happen. No, it's okay. If I'm telling you one thing now, my mother not even tell me, say, my younger brother sold land. Okay, what will I do? I should kill him? I reason and say, somebody where they drag father property, they make him alive. For my own side, I wouldn't reason. I'm not fighting. I told my mother that I'm coming to village. I come from Delta State or Weibo. I say, I will come. If I come, I look the matter how it be. Because you get some things, some property from father when you go all with your younger brother. If you not take, I can use spiritual way to harm you. But you can look to it and say, you don't want all these things. Then you leave this to him. God will fight everything. That is what I know from my own mind. Thank you, people. God bless you so much.
Thank you, Chibuzo.
Thank you very much.
So this even shows that it's happening a lot in different.
It's very, very common.
It's very rife. But let's zero down to parental responsibility. You've highlighted it by saying that they must make sure that the children are trained and groomed with empathy and love and the ability to protect one another. Now, when it comes to properties, and you're discussing with a typical Nigerian parent on how to probably write a will or share the property while they are alive so that at least everybody knows what comes to you when I go, it seems like you are hurriedly letting them go. Like you want to kill them. And some people don't want to have that conversation. Now, how do we get them to understand that this conversation is saving your own children? Because the truth is, they may behave well while you're there, and when you are gone, the animosity that they have buried will come out, and then things just go anyhow. How do we normalize having the conversation of maybe setting up a trust, a will, or sharing a property while you're still alive, if you intend to give them the property? Some people want to sell it and give to motherless babies home. But anyway, that's what happens in the in our foreign land, more like that. But here, we like to share our property within our children. How do we begin to share it before we go, in case you do not trust that those kids can handle themselves?
Okay, so if you see, now you go use your mouth, your tongue, they count it too. If you see, you must as a parent know your children. You know the one that is flashy, the one that can wait, the one that is prodigal, the one that, you know them. If, fortunately for you, you have established them, like our parents used to say, once you graduate, I have finished with
settled you.
I've settled you. So start, you go into the world and make your own and get your own, and you have seen them. You can relax and say, whatever you've left, maybe one house. Because my people say, uku. That's what we call properties. In plural is uku. Really? And in singular is iku. Meaning is even material, waste. Whatever you leave behind, it's supposed to be managed. And sort of gathered well. It's not something people who should be fighting over and scattering themselves. Some people fight over property and they even be killing themselves to remain at all as if themselves no go die. So there are not things that you fight over. You establish your children and hope that they know better. But if you see the way they are, you see the way they are going.
Be truthful to yourself.
Be honest.
Because we see, but we don't like to.
We don't agree.
You might love one more than one. You see that one that's going to sell property would have been selling since. From small. Go like to work.
Selling,
when they share work, you go say, no, I too suffer. I don't too suffer. I don't too go come. You will see the one that is so hard working. My grandpa did something amazing. When he died, there was a portion of land right in front of the family house. He said, nobody should touch it. He said my dad used to farm there because my grandma was an orphan. And if she born, she know they see relative compress or total. My father grew up and started taking care of his mom, all his younger siblings, early. So he started farming there before he left for school, so that his mother will never have to trek to farm when she's nursing a baby to eat. So she will just be able to harvest from close to home. And he had livestock as well. And all of those things were mentioned and demarcated and left
while he was alive.
When my grandfather was passing, they were saying, this one is my dad's son. Everybody knew it. He said it based on what he had observed of the way he lived. So he did not let him say, he will come and say, I farmed here. No, this boy farmed it. He did it for his mom, leave it for him. So you as a parent, as you're growing, you're seeing your kids, you have to be very objective. You cannot be at that time, because when you
playing hanky-panky.
The people, these relatives, these elders.
Yes.
These elders, God help us that we have good elders. No. You see these elders that we are talking in families. And then they share children. So yeah, that's your sibling. Don't come call me. He say, make we do this one. Whereas the elders should know that you should be unbiased and help them arrange. They will be making call and dividing your children. So
we have Mrs. Kenneth on the line. Good morning, Mrs. Kenneth.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
Hello, how are you?
We're doing amazing. You're live, ma.
Okay. What I'm saying, in respect of this issue of siblings having problems, I was born and raised in the north, precisely Kano. So in the house I grew up, the man has 2 wives. And these 2 wives, they have almost 6 children. By then, I don't know what it's called. I have not been to Lagos. So when they lost their father, I think before they even lost their father, when their father was sick, taken to the other one is an Air Force here residing in Lagos. Taking to their father to a hospital was a problem. This one is waiting for this, the mother and these children are waiting for the other children, for the other woman to take their father to hospital. In that process, they lost their father. But the house was shared amicable. Although I'm an Igbo woman, but I was raised by an Hausa man, and Hausa Muslim, but I'm a Christian. I remain a Christian. But they shared the house that even the girls, you know, in Islam, the woman have only one share, while the woman have two. So like two girls to one room, and while the other boy has a single room. But there was not all this problem. Although when they want to start problem, they now sold one house. They shared the house amicable. The other one took her own money to Saudi. But in Igbo land, my own father now, when they lost their grandfather, when he lost his father, his own portion, he left it to his siblings. But even at that, again, they are not satisfied. I don't know if you know the truth, they are not still satisfied. So one of this issue is what parents should rectify before they even pass away. That's from my own view.
So,
thank you. Go ahead.
I actually still want to point out something. On a lighter note, it's not everybody that has property to pass on to the next generation. That's why you can see people selling water tanks, because I'm sure if there was a land given to him, he will have something tangible to work out, except maybe he has sold it before the water tank. But this issue of will, you raised the issue of will. People actually are very scared of writing their wills, but I think we've gone past that stage where you think it's because you're writing a will you will die. And as a matter of fact, a lot of persons these days, is it Bill Gates, or I can't remember the person who said he cannot pass his will to his kids.
Yeah.
A lot of big men do it now. So the point I want to draw out of this is unnecessary over-dependence on inheritance. Most families should take note. Don't make your kids feel that, okay, my father has this, my father has that, I will not work for mine. Make your children
be
independent. Make them entrepreneurs from the day one. You know, some people say, okay, you want to clean the room, I'm paying you 5 naira. If you're washing the dishes, I'm giving you 20 naira. You're making your child independent at an early age. And when it comes for times like this, when you have to now say, okay, oh, my father's right, that's old model, I don't want it anymore. So most families should actually learn to draw up these wills, but in as much as you are drawing up the wills, make your children feel that, come, if this will not date tomorrow, what if government demolition, or what if something happens?
Or what if
how will you survive? How will you survive? So I actually think all these things, it boils down to the family. It boils down to the family to know how to manage your family and the talents in your family.
What you said now just reminded me of something. So I grew up in a place where everybody was dragging property, even the married women. Were leaving their husband's house to come and drag property. And the men did not work for anything in their own life. They were dragging property. And I was appalled. It infuriated me. When they're having those property conversations, you'll be hearing my father's house, my father's land, my father's this, my father's that. I will be doing like this. Like, I was... Probably it's one of the things that made me who I am today, that I've determined to work as hard as I work today. Because I don't want to be saying, dragging my father's house, my father's car. You people sold the father's bicycle. You people did this one to the father's property. And I'm fighting and hating my siblings because I didn't want that. So at that time, I always felt that, these people are actually failures. If they were successful, I don't think they'll be having this conversation. And I've been proven right over the years. Because I've seen that successful children don't even reason their father's property at all. Because they are out there making way for themselves. Whether they have enough or they don't have enough, you see the person's trajectory of work. Whether it's a medium scale or large scale, they are just doing their thing. They are not focused on, am I going to be dragged? Some people drag, in fact, I had a stepmother at some point who the sons that's her own brothers, my stepmother's brothers. The brothers were fighting their mother over a property their father left for her. It was bad, yes. They judge kids reach my house. It was really, really bad, yes. Mommy needs to leave this place. So this mommy actually had, God bless her soul, she's late now. Even my stepmother now I'm talking about is late. The mother actually had diabetes. That they were managing for years. So she needed to take insulin. How many times a week? And that insulin was costly. So it was the rental from the house that her husband built that she was using to maintain. And these boys would do anything to drive her out of that house. When I saw all of this, I thought, I'm not busy.
This actually
you can't be caught. Yeah, you can't be caught in the
Honestly.
So I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you that you must raise your children to do their own. I tell my son today, when he wants to do bragado in the house, with other people, I say, brother, you're on rent. I will kick you out very soon. You're on rent, oh. It's not your house, it's my house. I will kick you out very soon. Go and do your own. Let me come and say, this is my son's house.
You know,
this is my daughter's house.
It's also good to have a proper estate manager. Where see the case Mora is always sharing of the former area of Lagos.
Let me pause you so I can take it hear you properly. We have Olufemi from Magodo. Good morning, Olufemi.
Good morning, lady.
Good morning.
Thank you for this topic.
Okay.
So first of all, the interest of every parent is to leave something for their children so that they do not repeat the cycle of struggling, right? Now, I also realize that a lot of people were talking about these issues happening in polygamous families. It also happens in monogamous families. I'll give you an example. My late father requested my mother to sell her land to myself, either myself or one of my brothers. My mother initially wanted to sell the land to an outsider. My father said, no, sell it to either of your sons. I initiated the idea to say, okay, I will buy it and give you the money to take care of yourself. But God gave me wisdom, and I asked my mother, I come from a monogamous family. I asked my mother, ask my brother whether he's interested in this transaction. My mother went, oh, no, she's not interested. Don't worry, buy it. Out of God's wisdom, I then called my father. I called my father and my mother, and I said, I'm going to pay for the land because you need the money. And father is saying that you should not sell it to an outsider. I'll pay for it, give you the money, but we'll sign agreements and everything. My mother said, fantastic. I said, guess what? If my brother comes for this land or initiates anything legal in the future to say that, after all, the land belongs to my mother, I also want part of it, I will kill him. You know what my mother said? You want to kill your brother because of land. She called my other siblings and reported me. I then called my father. I said, can you see what is happening here? Nobody is talking about the cause. They're talking about the effect. You are not even addressing that this child of yours can become something else in future and choose to sue me for something I bought legally. My father was the only person that got the land. My conclusion was I now went back to my own mother and said, you know what? The land, give it to him. I don't want. On top of that, anything you want, any inheritance that you have signed my name for, I don't want. Give it to my brother. Where am I going with all this? It's not only in polygamous family. It happens in monogamous family. And these things have to also do with the way the parents bring up their children. Yeah. Every one of us have siblings. But you will know the sibling that is in trouble now because you would have been seeing it from the time that child.
True.
You're growing up with that child.
True. We have a question for you. Can you hang on a bit?
Did you have to buy a land to take your father to the hospital? I mean, you had the money to take him to the hospital. Did you need to buy the land to take him to the hospital? I would like to know why. Is he there?
He's gone.
Because you see what we are talking about, family dynamics.
Yes.
Your father is sick. You have the money to buy a land that belongs to the family, not an outsider. So why didn't you just take him to the hospital with the money?
Are you sure we didn't get? Are you sure we didn't get this?
But Nima was,
that's what he said.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask Nima.
Go on a break.
Okay. Yes, you know about a proper estate plan, where I wanted to give the example of Morel's late grandfather that till today his great grandchildren they just sit down and they get back
collecting and telling you.
So the estate plan was, you know, according to my bloodline, manage and give the proceeds. So nobody was giving any portion and anything.
Yeah.
They make sure that, you know, whatever had come to maybe one child goes continuously to their inheritors and, you know, their line according to that plan. And the estate is managed, not sold out, not, you know, was managed. Maybe rent is collected and all of that. A proper plan. So there are those who have those kind of proper plan. But you can still have an ambitious or greedy sibling who thinks, oh, it's all my own. You know, I have, in my practice, seen too many. I have seen one that is so unempathetic that the father was upset with a brother at the time he died in the 80s. Till today in the 20s, she never helped him forgive him. She ensured that that brother is disinherited. Wow. They are both old now in their 80s, and that one cannot process. Why are you holding a grudge on behalf of a late man against your own sibling? You know, so there are several sides to this. As a parent, we pray that our Yiwada is a prayer that they do, that you know, after you have passed, that what you have left behind is still as organized. Yes, you know, it's a very serious prayer. Because this one, their papa, mama, papa back, no.
This one you're saying education plays a major role in it, because you can't balance the mentality. The people who are fighting over water tank won't be this kind of people. Even if you drop estate, they want to be. I want the other person's estate. So you were talking to. Do we have a call? No. You were talking about your family and the quest for property. I would like to give an instance of one of the houses I stayed in Lagos State. And, you know, the father passed on, then the mother took over the management of the property. The man had different houses, and then the children started eyeing the property. At some point, one of them would come to me, pay the rent to me. The other one would say, give me balance. And it was really confusing. You see the sibling rivalry. If you don't arrange your home very well, it shows. So these people at some point, they started fighting themselves to the point one is saying, Shebi, you want to be like the other one, I will send you to your early grave. Because of, I'm telling you, it gets that tough. It gets that disorganized. And
juju for land, make it match up.
For your own brother. Just because of a property. So I actually feel that most of these people, they have to do well in terms of greed plays a major role, because if people are greedy, whether you even have 1,001 houses, you still want that one that your brother has. And then the hatred. Some people, okay, mommy favored you more than me when we were growing up.
Yes, I will
deal with you. Let's so all these things actually.
Okay, so it's just better to just buy homes and just, you know, give each child. See, this is your own house.
Why am I even buying home for you? I understand.
Yes, now to avoid trouble. If I'm that rich and I want to settle the problem and all. So I wanted to ask Nima this question. I was like, okay, so now, what if the siblings deny the fact that they did not send the vigilante to go and beat those people?
Evidence there now. The vigilante go talk who send them now.
So there should be regulation.
So we're wrapping up on this conversation. We've really learned a lot from this, and I like the angles all the ladies came from. We talked about empathy, raising our children with love, you know, finding a balance between culture and civility, you know, finding ways to handle issues by probably going to the elders, you know, looking for those heads that can help us deal with this, managing our anger as well. And the fact that parents also need to be objective. You must not be seen to be showing favoritism to one person. And also be true to yourself. Understand your children. You know your children, but it's just denial that we see sometimes. You know that one that is already stealing from you now.
That one that is always crying, I want her.
You know, give her
now. She's your younger sister.
Let's sort this out so that we don't have issues like this in our hands from time to time. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to yet another topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So a video of some bridesmaids dancing at a wedding has gotten many social media users talking. The trending video shows the bridesmaids, some of them skimpily dressed, dancing at the wedding reception. While some Nigerians have applauded the women for their dress sense and the vibe they displayed, others argue that the bridesmaids were dressed inappropriately for the wedding. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation and call us on 081-076-41679 and 0902-416-3440. I saw that video. I was vexing in my spirit. And why was I vexing? I just felt like we like to degrade ourselves as women.
You need that.
I even spoke Yoruba.
Not needed.
Everybody around me started laughing. I said, Kilele, what's this? This is what you wear to the beach. This is not an appropriate dressing for a wedding.
She was in front.
She was in front.
In front, dancing,
and
going
shaking,
down.
Baby. Please, before I say what I had in mind or what I have in mind, what are your thoughts? Did you see the video?
I've not saw it.
Hey,
not seen the
Nima.
video.
Oh, you need to see this video now.
In fact, she was going conco below, dancing. She was in front, and I was like, are there elders in that wedding? All of the elders will be there watching this girl, and nobody could even stand up and go and meet the girl. Me, I walk that girl out of that place.
Hey,
I walk the lady
Freedom
out of
of
the
association.
Yeah, but maybe because her friends.
No, okay.
No, it was
when
terrible.
I saw that video,
It was terrible.
In as much as men have helped us objectifize women. You know, they've turned us to the beauty spots, eye candies, and all that. And you know, weddings are places where people go to display everything they are and everything they want. Some of them say they want to go there to go and get their Mr. Right. Okay, when I saw that video, you know what came to mind? I was like, okay, if this lady actually works at a strip club, she will say she's well dressed. She will say she's even well covered. Because the truth is, it's a wedding, and if you know this, your friend, there are friends who are very liberal at heart. They are not there to judge you. And the caption they put on that video is, when your Ashwebi person disappoints you on a wedding day, this is what you wear. So
let me see it.
I saw it. So when your Ashwebi person disappoints you, actually feel that in as much as there are dresses for occasions, that was too extra. But then again, she's an adult, and then she owns her body, and then the friend does not have an issue with her being dressed that way. At least she has made the wedding trend.
Is that what you think?
You wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known that there was anything like that wedding.
We need to know the wedding.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's not what to wear to a wedding. That's not even what to wear to a wedding. Whether you're an adult.
How you want to brighten
shouldn't wear that
your
to a wedding.
Your wedding day, and then people are dressed like peacocks and all that. You want to play it, right? So even though she came out to explain what happened, I didn't listen to her explanation. Actually.
Yes, she explained, and
but
I
think women should do more. You know, they say my body, my choice. My body is how I want to dress, is how I want to adorn myself. You have self-respect. Don't look at me. Leave me alone. And that's what most women use as an excuse for being scantily dressed and all that.
So we cannot even talk again, because this one that even come and dance is just taking it a step higher. You know, these days, weddings, you have to know whether you are taking your children or not. Because somebody will just go and so they say they call it cinchi. You know, as in only nipple cover, they will just pop up. Put your son at your table where you are eating, but he cannot but see milk production.
Bobby in front of him.
They say it's not exposed. You see the nipple.
Yeah. So the person will now be sitting. There was one I posted. I saw the video, I downloaded it, and I posted it on my status. I said, please, let's be learning to wear clothes and not let clothes wear us. The tailor was not just good. The tailor was wicked.
Carpenter.
The carpenter that sewed that cloth just... He carried it and just... The girl was not just anywhere.
She was not breathing.
This one was on this side. The other one, she was X.
Let me ask if it was a Rihanna. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
You know, and this, we must call weddings. Weddings, the way me, I know it. The celebration of a new family from a branch of an old family. So you have family, friends, seated. It's not a place where you go in bikini wears.
No.
And this, all these designers that we are sewing now, with bikinis that we are calling designs, you know, that we sew. Because anything that shows your cleavage,
shows your boobs,
somebody
everything
on this table.
So, you know, the producers have got us. They want to play the video. Please watch this video.
See the girl in front.
I know. I wanted you to see that video specifically.
And they said her private.
Can I say something?
They even said her private page.
Can I say something, ladies? So she came out to, explain herself.
Okay.
And when she was talking, I could tell that this girl no get head. It was obvious. The explanation did not make sense. I don't like to wear clothes. Heat. I'm always on heat. The heat is too much. Anybody that knows me knows I don't like to wear clothes. And in fact, I told her, my friend, they wanted me to sew something else. I said, no, I'll always be myself. I'll always be myself. So this is what I can wear for you, blah, 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 blah. And her friend knows her very well. Her friend did not mind. Her friend did not, take it like the way Nigerians are taking that. She was shocked. She was just sitting there. She now saw, that she has gone viral. Oh, it didn't mean anything to her.
Really bad.
Now, when she was doing that video, she wore clothes.
When she was doing that video,
yes, for somebody who claims she does not like clothes, she wore clothes to do the video. She was covered up doing the video. Yeah. So why can't you respect your friend enough to cover up on her wedding? I think this is wickedness and selfishness. The wedding day is not your day. You are there to show support. You are there to be, like an anchor for your friend. You're there to make your friend's day beautiful. It's not about you. So we know that you like to be naked in your house, and when you're going to other places, and probably you are doing jobs that you need to be naked. We understand that. And that's one thing about some people I don't get. We watch the likes of Madonna, those Oyibo people that are naked themselves when they are acting and doing their work. And we see them when they are going for interviews. They're all suited up.
Yeah. Dressed properly.
Yes. They're all suited up for interviews. When they're going for events, they're all suited up. When you are on stage, I have one bikini on stage. So it's not like I'm saying you cannot wear bikini. I wore bikini all my life, modeling from state to state and all of that. But when we are going for interview in the morning, we're well dressed. We don't wear bikini to TV to be answering questions. Outfits have their appropriate places where you can wear them. It's just common sense. How do you wear? And that's one. Now I'm going to fault the parents of the bride who saw that skank and did not drive her. My mother-in-law.
In this now,
you carry broom.
In this human rights.
No,
imagine one.
You will not
go and carry cloth and say, Kini, I want to wrap her. They will not say she have a right to her space.
I'm going to
a right to her body.
I will do
space not in my daughter's wedding or in my sister's wedding.
No, I will even walk out if it's my daughter's wedding.
People will come and say you're being
Let me hear one person, please.
Okay.
Who's
okay, so me, I'll walk her out. If it is me, my daughter's wedding, I'll walk her out, honestly
My daughter can never bring that kind of...
In fact, that thing, I'm even wondering how she's so comfortable dancing and, exposing herself like that in public. That's to show that there's a problem right from home. That means she has been wearing skimpy things when she was little and she's comfortable with that. I'll take us to one time. My daughter came back from school and said she wanted me to take her to one place. They call it street souk. I don't know if you people know that place.
In Nigeria?
In Lagos.
What do you do there?
What they do in that street souk is that the idea is to bring teenagers together. Teenagers will come, shop their kind of stuff. That's these joggers. They'll find their own clothes, buy, and then they have artists, their age, that will perform while they're there. We're going. Immediately we got there. These ones, parents are the ones that brought these children. You need to see what these children were wearing. Skimpy, shorts, bomb shorts, expose their body, then the makeup on their face. Then, their hair, everything. Immediately we got in there. I just asked my daughter, are we supposed to be here? No, you judge by yourself. Are we supposed to be here? Immediately she said, okay, Mommy, let's go. Mommy, let's go. Let's go. I said, okay, we're not supposed to be here. The dressing was terrible. So you can imagine, and those kids, they are like 12 years, 13, 14. That's the age. So if you have started, dressing like that at that age, what will you do when you become an adult like this one in the video? They are already comfortable. They are comfortable being naked.
I'm comfortable being naked, Ramatu. I am. I don't like to wear clothes. Exactly, that's the difference. So it may not necessarily be because they're comfortable being naked. I'm comfortable being naked in my house, but in my bedroom.
Actually,
I go outside,
you are not in the category. You need to leave the room. We're not talking about you.
Why?
When they say they are comfortable being naked, they are exhibitionists.
Okay,
who would rather leave their houses fully clothed when they reach outside, fully naked. That's how they are wired.
Okay,
and those people today, we're in a modern rights world now. They have rights. So that if you come with your standard, they say you're judging them. If you talk to their parents, like Ramat noticed now, for instance, if it was her friend's child and she go and throw her mouth inside, she have judged them. So it's your own you are raising, you know, and that's a problem where there's no longer a society regulating itself. Why we regulate it so that all of us no go mad at once at the same time. You know, you go to some schools, they'll say decency is a particular standard. In some profession, like legal profession, there are colors we don't wear, there are clothes we are not allowed, there are hairstyles we are not allowed to keep. Just so that there's a regulation, so that everybody no go just mad at once. You understand? So that your madness see, for instance, I'm an exhibitionist. I always say, right, once I step into my house like this, I keep, if I'm coming home, you hear me, I'll do pakam, I jam the door. As I'm entering, it's free door. You understand? But the standard of appearance is what I'm wearing. If I'm not fully covered, I can't even step out. So some people need that. We need you to be able to open your eyes, and I won't be in your face. I won't blind you. With, you know, some of these cellulites we see, they are not even so interesting.
This cellulite has made it to the show. The makeup room.
So yesterday I went to pick up some very sexy shorts I wanted to use for something. As I wore it, you know, I've gained weight. I was not seeing some bubbles. I have to find hoso for me to wear this shirt. I don't already buy up, so I can't return it. For me to wear this shirt, I have to wear hoso. Busy, when did you start having bubbles now? My daughter came and said, Mommy, why are these places not smooth anymore? I said, I don't have it. There's nothing I can do now. This dieting is a struggle.
It is.
And it's not interesting. You people should leave me. I don't born 3. I know they find husband. But I will not present it out like that. I will cover it a bit so that it looks, for your sake, person that is watching, to have some dignity. Appalled somehow.
No, for you to even have dignity.
I observe certain things there. You know, they call them the expressive generation. Yes, they call them the ones you don't cage, you allow them free will. Now, if you look at that video, you'll notice that she's not the only naked person there. Hers is just worse because it's back. The others,
she wore the bra,
nets,
just bra, like her stomach was
but if you see other people, you will see the other dresses, the other ones you see now, nets, and you have very short linen inside. So if you look at the background, there's another lady whose skirt is even very short and is not even among the Ashwebi girls.
But
what does that tell you? What does that tell you about the person getting married? So most men, I'm sorry, most men like to see these things. And they're even happy that you're bringing them to the occasion to see. Most men like it. So what I want to even say is, some parents don't have issues with this. I will also draw it to the clash of culture. We Nigerians, we know that you should be properly dressed like Abigail. But if you go outside, abroad, what they wear, this one, they will tell her that she's even dressed. They won't see anything wrong with it. Yes. But haven't you seen Rihanna dressed to occasions? Red carpets and the rest of
this
it.
Girl not
if it was a Rihanna, would you have a problem? Tiwa Savage dressed a certain way the other day. I have a problem. Oh, beautiful. But a lot of persons don't have issues with it. What I'm trying to say is, we are selective in this our judgments.
Yes, we
are.
If
it's a celebrity, won't have issues.
Why are you not joining?
Now,
honestly, we are not naked.
Maybe the honor of the person who is getting wedded doesn't even have issues with it. Because if she does, she would have seen the other ones. She would have, but
maybe Abigail, hold on. The fact that she does not have issues with it is what is even annoying us. You should have an issue with it.
Exactly.
Because we still
you can't tell people how to
No,
act.
we still have a culture. We need to pick one. No.
We do.
We have children we are raising. No.
We do.
I would not be comfortable seeing my daughter looking like that in a public place.
Exactly.
No,
but
when she's not, hold on. When she's not modeling on stage, if she chooses to be a model, for instance, or she's an artist and that's what she wants to wear, once she's done from the stage, she comes and she clothes her body.
Sadly,
what if she doesn't listen to you?
She listen to reality. You know, the organizers of the wedding own that space.
Yeah.
They own that event.
Yeah.
If they allow it, it's what they want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that there's nobody that place that didn't object. But the organizers of the event, the owner of the wedding.
My friend.
Maybe the owner of the wedding is busy kissing her husband. They're busy enjoying
and drinking wine.
You know, weddings now, couples are made to entertain their guests. Weddings are not like the time when I do nikah, everybody come. Marry. You marry her, you pay bride price, you pay, blah, blah, blah. It was a very short event. In fact, we're done in 1 hour. Weddings these days, the walima, they are there. It's one stage of event to other. They throw shoe, example. They are made to entertain your guests. And they chose this form of entertainment for their guests. Sadly, she also enlisted to climb stage.
She's used
and
to
dance.
And in front.
And in front, naked. You know, sadly. Because there are certain families where you visit them, you can't enter in the miniskirt.
Yes.
Let me gist you. When I was dating my husband, so we came from school holiday and I came to visit them in the house. Thankfully, the mom was not in the shop when I came because she has a shop in front of the house. So I came, I was wearing nets.
Hey.
Okay.
Wait, that jeans, no jeans, I wore jeans because I took bus now from Ogba. So I wore jeans, I wore nets, then bra and nets.
Okay.
As my husband saw me, he said, come,
Quickly, go on.
Just so you.
You want my mother to say I cannot marry you? What's the meaning of this?
One time, I will not even waste time.
She will not. She won't even come close to even know whether you are good or not. What's this? She has a younger sister. Oh yeah, Auntie, give me top, give me top. Wakuku the same size, give me top. She now stuck the top past the other side. As I wore Everest top. I wore her top, and then entered the house. When we leave, my husband said, Auntie, you think you're in the university? You don't even wear this in the, what happened? I said, I just felt like, he said, felt like what? And there you go.
To come and meet your mother-in-law.
You need to see when I was visiting my in-laws. The cloth I cut them, 6-piece skirts.
Are you serious?
Looking.
My blouse, I wear my scarf like this. I put it Northern Arewa look scarf with my hijab all tight. My sister has a chaperone to see my in-laws the first time. If you see it was a big ceremony. It's an outing. Serious event. From my house, my parents will do check before you step out.
Are you serious?
For all of their daughters.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. So let me ask you a question. You can't really cage the child.
Let me ask a question. You know, I know that some persons are of the opinion that this particular lady was dancing, you know, dressed the way she did because she wanted to attract her own man. At least her friend don't get in own. That's why they're doing a wedding. And then maybe I'll see somebody and like there. But do you think with that sort of dressing, she would be able to attract the right kind of man?
Exactly.
The right is what you call it now.
Attract what?
Who is responding to me?
Right is what you call it. Should I respond?
Yes,
right is what you call it. You know, the kind of man you're looking for might not be the kind of man I'm looking for.
Wow.
There are ladies like this who are telling, I can't marry a pastor, I can't marry a private man, I can't marry a good guy, I want to marry a bad guy. So it depends on what she wants. Maybe she's looking for the guy who can take her to club, buy her skimpy dresses, they travel around the world together, no family values, it's not her business, she just wants money. It could be, and that might be her own right. It's valid too, so that might be her own right.
This is where the valid does
It's how they even take away the imaginative aspect of the woman. You know, when you see a woman, you see the figure. You're imagining, oh, this woman will be very fine. What will her back look like? And then they're just giving you everything like this. You don't have anything to imagine again. So I think women should do more, but I don't think this crop of women will have. I don't think they are doing anything.
True. You see this thing you said.
They are not doing anything.
Why can you used to call me onions? You know what she meant? That me, they will have to unravel me. Layer by layer.
Yes.
Since we started using the same span, why don't the naked person? She don't appreciate me again. I don't see it all.
See finish.
You know, so we see those days, there's something to yearn for, to imagine. That in itself increases the desire of the heart.
Yeah.
You know, when you come at an event, she can attract the wrong one.
Yeah,
she can intend this way and attract. You know, there's this Savior May. Who think, no, this one needs Jesus in her life. They will be there at this event.
Yes, now. They are there.
I want to save you now.
Yes, now. They are there.
They enter the wrong place, you know, and they will come and save her. And then she will be wondering how she ended up in somebody who is anti her ways. You know, these are unnecessaries. Yeah. This girl is even upcoming, because I just remember the video that trended of one that she was very well endowed. Very well, as in God overground. Those ones will line up for front when God the share in Kiru, they were
Manchester.
So she was so very well, and the tailor that I saw it for, I only helped her to. So the remaining one was just a boiling. Was just kaka. At an event, a wedding in Lagos. The tailor that saw the others down could not find enough yet, so it's fine. Yeah,
I hope you do not see it.
nice. You only wear one line of the trouser length. One line. Just use that one line, wrap up. So everything was just everywhere. She came into the wedding looking like, you know, she was just going everywhere.
Couldn't breathe.
That one too trended. And she did not have sense. That one, she danced. She was dancing.
Even what about music videos? What about music videos?
We have Noye from Abuja. Good morning, Noye.
Okay. Hello.
Good morning. You're live.
Okay. This is my first time calling. I've been watching.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. This is a nice topic, and I got what you said, the anchor, that there was a time you watched something like that. I did too. But I think with the girls' issue, I think it's the age and what is trending. Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
That's what is trending. And you know, these days everybody wants to do something to be online, to get views, to get likes. And I watched her when she was talking. She was not even remorseful. I was thinking she would say she overdid what she did, but she was so proud of it. And the only thing I got from what she was saying is that men were even calling her, that she mistakenly put her number. How can you mistakenly? She was looking for people to call her. But I think taking away her friend's day.
Markets, yes. Now market you go.
And now they want to buy.
Yeah, that's what I think. And it's not good. And I think it's not a good example for the upcoming kids coming up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Lima, you were. So what happened to the babe?
She trended too. This one did not even do video to apologize. She came to the market, shading her market, and you know they come with the intention to either display to catch married men who are, you know, vulnerable, who are predisposed to their kind of market, you know. They come like that, and they come at a public event like that. And she made sure as she was coming in, she was throwing everything that she could throw to attract what she came to attract. She owed nobody no apologies. She did not send anybody, and she came like that. So this one too is just upcoming. Yeah. So it's not everybody who comes to a marriage event or a wedding event that has a decent mind. Yeah. Some people go out every day shading their market. Yeah. So when you see them, you are allowed to avoid them. Yes, you are allowed to disallow in your own space. If I had a wedding, for instance, or my child's wedding, you'll be disinvited at the entrance.
Yes, I went for one. Yes, my in-laws, one of the daughters was getting married, and the younger girl came. She, you know, when you come and serve kola nuts to the guests and all of that, and she wore one scanty something. The uncle sitting beside me stood up.
Hey. Go out.
Go and go change. Yes. He was screaming. We had to calm down so that people are not asking what's happening. He said, I said, I understand. Don't worry. We'll handle it. So my husband went into, why
are you dressed like this?
Dressing like this? You're a beautiful girl. I've also observed that the rich and mighty, they don't dress that way. I watch a lot of movies. I see even rich people in our midst. I see how decently dressed their children are. They dress well. They cover their body. There's one movie, people go and watch it on Netflix, Dynasty, where all the wealthy people, their children, and they're always in suit. They dress, they cover up. It's the very pass ones that are managing.
They're looking for attention.
They are showing, they are using all they have to get to where they are going to, right? But how do we, we're wrapping up now, how do we help our young ones to understand what is most important? Nobody says you should not shine, you should not show yourself, but within the limits of what is decent for your own preservation. One last word, and we go.
For me, less is more. You don't have to be exposed to actually get the attraction you want. Once you're well clothed, people respect you more. Yeah. So that's just what I have to say. You don't have to show up everything to actually attract people. Once you open your mouth and you have the right brain, that's it.
Leave more to the imagination.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, it's even actually a sin for a lady to just be dressed openly like that, because if guys look at you and they start having feelings or something, it's a sin. It's not even good. So the women should just try and dress very well and look attractive, decently, without exposing. You don't have to expose yourself before you look attractive. You can be well dressed and you still look very good.
Yeah, Nima, don't be trash. That's what my auntie and my mothers, when I was growing up, used to advise. So I had attempted something like this. I used to love mini skirts and I used to think I had beautiful legs I want to show off. So they would just laugh at me. I've shared the story about how I was made to stop it.
Yeah.
And they will always say, don't be trash. You know, don't be so easy
to
predict. Don't be so easy to assess. You know, I have some decency. Don't be trash. You know, and it wasn't about religion, because these mothers, I've said them, the 3 mothers that groomed me growing up, 2 of them were Christians. One was Anglican, one was Catholic. My mom was the only Muslim. And she would run out and go and tell her friends, "Now, daughter, don't they come?" You know, and they were able to help us find that sense of decency and go properly. So it's not about religiosity, it's about decency and morals.
Yeah. I love that. I love what you just said. Don't be trash. That's the new word I'm going to be using for my kids now. Don't be trash, girl. You know who you are. You're a queen. Leave more to the imagination. So that when you can finally get into that place, you put this one, you put that. It will take them like a few minutes to, you know, take it off one after the other. When you are finished taking it up by themselves, you just say, let's not.
Nothing is here.
It's the weekend, girl.
Yes,
it's the weekend, girl. And I can't wait to have a lovely time this weekend.
Yeah.
Sales is still going on here by BC. We are closing 12 a.m. tonight, and that will be a wrap for till next time. And your view pigeon is going on tomorrow morning, so that they will break it down the way you understand it. And then we'll see you again on Monday.
Don't forget, we'll have a retreat. So.
No, don't announce it now. Okay,
you're for tomorrow.
We're holding tomorrow.
Yes,
because you know, a lovely time.
It's not you for you to announce.
It's not for you to announce. It's okay with this. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.